Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today is Sunday, June the 11th. I hope you guys are doing really well, and thank you for tuning in. Well, hopefully I'm going to be doing the cornfield. I can't wait. It's a dream of mine, if I can say that, is to have my own cornfield. I mean, it's going to be tiny, but still, it's going to be so good doing it. However, if something comes along and eats a little corn, I'll be fuming. So the corn's going back there, and what I'm going to be doing now is trying to amend the soil as best I can and loosen it up, because it's hard clay. Even though we've had the last couple of days of rain, it's kind of made it softer. So I'm going to try and dig in some ash and rotted down weeds, and then put the corn in, give it a few days, and then mulch it. So let's crack on. So I've got the seedlings out. There's 36 in total to go into this cornfield. Now you can see how small the plugs are, like that. They're tiny plugs, and this is why I wanted to get them out as quick as possible and into the ground, so they don't become root bound in these little plugs. So I'm going to plant them in a square grid formation, say 10 inches apart. So there's going to be 6 by 6 grid, and if any more do sprout and grow, because I did sow 50 of them, I've only got 36, then I'll just add them onto it. Let's go.
A Norfolk night, the world is cold. We stand surrounded, we are not alone. Within my reverie, there's holy light. Without a number, we stand and fight. A Norfolk night, the world is cold. We stand.
Right, so the sweet corn has now been planted. I feel so chuffed. It's the first time ever I've done anything like this. So, yeah. Right, what I'm going to do now is water it with green water. Basically, green water is just, I've got a water canister over there, and it's been full up with rainwater, and it's got loads of algae and stuff inside of it. So I presume that it's got beneficial bacteria that will help the plants. So you might be watching this and you're wondering, what the hell are you doing? Well, I was about to place an order for some building materials, and I thought, let me go check the cement. So about a few €100 worth of cement sitting here, just over a ton in weight, I would say, and it's all rock hard. But if I lift it up, it's not even bending. So I need to check to see if it's still okay, or whether or not I need to order some. But don't worry, I'm not setting up my own little meth lab or making cocaine or anything like that. It's purely to check the cement. Now, a lot of people would say the cement is no good. However, until we open it up, we won't know. So I've got a mask on, gloves on, and goggles, because the last thing I want is this get into my lungs or on my hands. It dries out your skin, it causes cracking. If you get it in your eyes, it will burn your eyes. So let's have a go. So as you can see, the bags have got one layer of paper, a layer of plastic membrane, and another layer of paper. And it is pretty much rock hard. So let's have a look. It seems okay-ish. Goes to powder. Yeah, there's little bits in it, rock hard. So yeah, it is crumbling, going back to its normal powdery state. I don't think I can put this in a cement mixer how it is there, because it won't break down. It will stay in chunks, especially the bits around the sides here. Yeah, so you can see what it's like without me squeezing it through the sieve. If I rub my hands over it, not adding too much pressure, see I've crumbled it. This is all hard, look. It's not doing anything. So if I do that with it, pick up some blocks. It's a big massive block of it. I think it's a case of that it's just lost its fluffiness. Because as soon as I put it on here, it's turning into powder again. And the last thing I want to do is be breathing in the dust. You know, this looks like a scene out of out of Scarface or something like that, or a narco movie. I assure you what I'm doing is totally legal. I'm not breaking any laws. And it's just cement. So yeah, if I crumble it down, it's turning back into powder again. So it looks like the cement is salvageable. I mean, that's only the first bag. I'm hoping it's okay. Here's an Haley. Come on, Haley. Fly. However, this is going to take bloody ages. So let's see what it's like when it's in the barrel. As you can see, it's back to powder. And this stuff you don't want to be breathing in. Alright, cool. So I guess I don't need to order any cement. I just have to sift pretty much a ton of cement through the sieve. It's going to be one hell of a job, and it's going to take hours. So my whole idea of making trellises out of wood and bamboo and string hasn't quite gone to plan. I mean, number one, the bamboo there is still pretty green and raw, so it's all bendy and flexible, so you can't really use it as structure, if that makes sense. It just keeps on bending. And secondly, my tomato trellis. Oh, what's the cat thing? Seen something. Probably a lizard on the wall. Anyway, getting back to my tomato trellis. So the issue isn't the strings hanging down, it's a string going across the top that as the tomato plants are growing with the weight, it's bending down, as you can see. So I'm going to replace the string with some wood, because at the moment the tomato plants are collapsing more and more. So we need to sort that out. And I have a plan, which I've started doing. You can see another pallet there which I've been breaking down, and some more over there, and some here on the floor. So what I've been doing is breaking the pallets down for the planks and then stripping them in half. I'm gonna attach them together, forming long pieces, and I think that will be a lot better than string. Because remember, the whole idea of the vegetable gardens and growing our own food this year is to do it as cheap as possible. So I'm going to avoid buying any resources, if that makes sense. Here's one I made earlier. I'm joking, this is the one I just done. So yeah, that's what it's going to look like. It's all been attached with 2 screws. And yeah, so that will replace the top string on the trellises for the tomatoes. So when I pour the concrete floor, I need to make sure that the concrete is going to be level on the floor. And the only way that I can do that is with using a laser level and marking reference points along the wall. And then what I'll do is tomorrow during the day is I'll double check them with a spirit level to make sure that it's right. So then I can start marking some points on the ground or building mounds out of concrete. So then when I pour it, I can just skim it back. So I'm not going to film it because it's pitch black. So the day has come that I have pretty much ran out of using the green water that I had. I mean, have a look what's left. So I've been using 2 barrels that over the last 8 months we've been filling up with rainwater, and they're both empty now. That's the last one. The other one I've used now to break down the cement into. So let's go into town to the spring and collect some water. Let's go.
A Norfolk night, the world is cold. We stand surrounded, we are not alone. Within my reverie, there's only
Before coming to this spring, I went to the other one, but it looks like it's got no water because they're doing roadworks. I don't know if you noticed, but you got people doing roadworks, and you had 2 police there as well. It's like, what? For roadworks? What's going on? Why do you need police present when you're doing roadworks on the road? Anyway, so we're at this spring. We're going to fill up the water containers. I mean, it's not going to be for drinking, so I can just dunk them in. Even though it's full up with algae and stuff, it's got bacteria in it. Should be beneficial to the plants. This is what I want. I mean, you see sometimes tractors here with big water bowsers on the back of them with generator pumps, and they're just pumping water out of here into the water bowsers. I mean, if you look at the floor there, that's all diesel from the tractors and generators, I'm guessing. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. However, I would have preferred the other water source up there because it's closer to me. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's fill up some water containers. I mean, is it worth it? I mean, I've only got 36 litres of storage here, but I guess I'm on the quest of generating as much food as I can for as little expense as possible. So I guess, yeah, let's do it. So I'm all done filling up. It took about 10 minutes, shall we say, and what, 5 minutes to walk here, I guess. So that's 15 minutes, so for another 5 minute walking back, that's what, 20 minutes? 20 minutes for 36 litres of free water. I don't know, I don't think that's bad. Alright, let's go back. So now I have another conundrum, and that is I can only fill up or replace the water once I've used all the water because I've got no other water storage containers. So what I'm thinking of doing is, well, I'm not thinking, I've been looking on OLX, which is like the Portuguese version of Gumtree or Craigslist, for any barrels or rainwater collectors, barrels and stuff like that, just so I can get one and put it here, attach a tap to it and a hose, and then use it for irrigation purposes. And therefore I can just empty the water bottles into the tank or barrel, and then if I wanted to I could go fill it up again. There's no point in me getting an IBC because I'm not going to fill it with 1,000 litres of water. And if I put it here, attach a hose, I can use it on the fruit trees, the cornfield, and on the veg patch here. So with all the issues I've been having building the trellises, and not building them, shall we say, I've finally managed to redo the tomato ones. So let's have a look at version 2.0 of them. So there you go. So that's the pallet wood that I cut in half, and I've joined it with an overlap and screwed it in. That's with string holding that one up, string holding that one up. Yeah. So I don't know how many tomatoes I can plant there, but I've got about 30 of them to go into the ground. So whilst we're over in the veg patch too, let's have a look at how it's going and what I've planted so far. So here you see a whole row of courgettes and some climbing beans or runner beans. Yeah, I know they haven't got any support right now. I need to get onto that as well. And nothing's been mulched yet, so I still need to do that as well. So let's have a look at the cornfield, how it's getting on. And here's the cornfield. I don't know, I keep calling it a cornfield. I think I'd be better off calling it a corn patch. But it looks like it's growing now. Yeah, the ground is getting super dry. Again, I need to mulch it. Let's have a look on the seedlings and veg patch number 1. So here we are at the seedlings. So they're coming along. Some of them are ready to be transplanted out, and that needs to be done sooner rather than later. Tomato plants, we've got the first true leaves coming out, aubergine growing along. So these 3 trays are all plants, and the germination success rate is pretty poor. But then these were all old seeds that I had lying around back in the UK, so I thought I'd bring them out here and plant them and see what happens. So maybe they've gone past their best by date. Sweet potato, nothing happening on top. However, I pulled one out and it's growing roots, so hopefully I'll get some sweet potato slips soon. I don't know how long it takes. Vegetable garden number 1. As you can see, I've redone the tomato trellis on this side as well. The same method of pallets on top. So as you can see, the tomatoes here, this is what will be in veg garden number 2. However, I will be planting the tomatoes a lot closer together on the other side, just because I've got so many of them. And I've got my first aubergine as well. Let's find it. Here it is. The courgettes are coming along nicely. Still haven't got any courgettes. Salad is coming along, but I think the weed is going to outgrow it soon. So again, I need to weed it. Hibiscus, I think it's dead. I don't know what else I can do to try and revive it. Yeah. And tomatoes are developing tomatoes. So yeah, the tomatoes could do with trailing up the trellis string and then taking out the suckers. Peppers, I don't know, they don't look like to be they're growing to me, but however they might be. And this here is an experiment to see if it'll grow out here. Apparently it's similar to tomatoes and aubergines, and it's a perennial and should survive here. It's the same hardiness rating as a loquat tree, and I've got one planted on the other side of the swimming pool. So if anyone knows what this is, I know what it is, but have a guess. Let me know in the comments. I've got 3 of them planted, and I'll give you a clue to what it is. It's native to Brazil or South America. So as you can see, the weeds are coming back with a vengeance. Right guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Let me know how I can improve. So until next week, peace out.